We have a new moon solar eclipse coming up on April 20th of 2023, and I already did a video covering the basics of what you need to know about this event and what your horoscope is. But I just read up about some aspects that are happening with this solar new moon eclipse, and I wanted to quickly cover them and give you some key points so that you can know everything that is happening around this time and how you can act in alignment with this massively impactful astrological event on April 20th. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name is Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing and astrology, because I was the person who took way too long to understand themselves, constantly felt confused about my direction and who I was, and this led me to being very frustrated all the time. Then I discovered my birth chart, my Enneagram, my Myers-Briggs, and so much more, and for the first time in my life, I understood who I was. So now I'm here to teach you about these things so you can understand yourself too. Now, before I tell you this really massively impactful aspect that is happening with the solar new moon eclipse happening on April 20th in the sign of Aries, hit the link in the description below to get your very own My Horoscope Made Me Do It hoodie that I might pull from offering very soon, because I don't know if you guys like them or not. So get yours now so that we can be matching and be super cute. So we have a solar eclipse happening on April 20th, 2023 in the sign of Aries. And as I said, I already did a video covering what you really need to know about this. If you just want the gist and you don't want to learn about every single aspect and you're more new to astrology and you just want to know what you should do, watch my video over on the channel about the solar eclipse in Aries. But I just read about a really interesting aspect that is happening with this solar eclipse in Aries that I want to cover because I think it's going to be a game changer in this event. And I'll also be giving you tips on what you should do based off of this information. So one really crazy thing about this solar eclipse happening in Aries is that it's the second Aries new moon that we've had this year, which is crazy. We had a new moon already in Aries at the end of March of 2023, and this next new moon should have been in Taurus, but instead it's in the final degree of Aries. So there's this double Aries energy that's playing on itself, and it really changes and highlights our relationship with our aggression and independence and allowing ourselves to be bold and brave. Eclipses represent a very key point or milestone in our journey here on Earth. In astrology, we generally believe that you are here to fulfill a karmic destiny. And so eclipses represent chapters or key points in that destiny that further you along your path and help you reach your highest self. So this Aries solar eclipse is highlighting our relationship with independence. It's helping us realize that we need to be more bold and brave at times. We need to be more independent at times. We need to be more assertive. It can also be healing our relationship with our aggression, because Aries is all about fire, passion, and anger. And so during the last new moon, especially, we probably had a lot of anger coming up during this time, frustration, realizing that we need to heal our relationship with how angry we are, or that there's a wound hiding behind our anger. So this new moon in Aries that happened around the end of March acted as if it was a preface chapter for this event. It gave us the theme, it set the stage for what is about to come. And then, of course, not only do we have a solar eclipse happening in the sign of Aries, but we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Libra, and then these roles are going to be flipped later in the year around fall when we're in Libra season. So the Libra full moon that took place on April 6th of 2023 also acted as this preface chapter for this event and axis we're going to be experimenting with during this year. Because not only is the solar eclipse happening in Aries and reminding us of how to be independent, but we're also going to have an eclipse in Libra later, which reminds us of the balance of not only do we need this independence and to heal our relationship with our anger, but we also need to learn peaceful means, and that connection is also valued. Basically, this Aries-Libra axis of eclipses is helping us further our karmic journey along our path and rebalancing our relationship with independence and connection. So during this year, you're going to learn a lot about how you can be more assertive and take the lead and be independent, and also deepen your connections with other people and feel truly harmonious and enjoy their company without attachment. So back to the solar eclipse in Aries. What is the important aspect happening between these in this transit? So like I said, the solar eclipse is happening in the sign of Aries at the very final degree, which is 29 degrees of Aries. And this alone is a very powerful aspect, because when we have a planet or something in the very last degree of the sign, it acts as a very massive moment, because it's the final culmination, the final degree it could possibly be in before it changes signs. And so this solar eclipse in Aries is going to be a very life-changing event of huge culminations taking place. If you don't know anything about the solar eclipse yet that's happening, it's going to be a big game changer, and it's going to shake a lot of things up in a positive way. Anger might be coming out during this time. There might be some blow-ups. There might be heightened moments of independence where you just finally decide to break free, but it's for the better. This is a new moon, new beginnings, acting in alignment with our soul. So not only is it happening in the final degree, which brings this powerful energy of finalization, but it's also conjunct the North Node in Taurus. Now, the North Node in Taurus, I believe, is around 4 degrees of Taurus, which I can't say I know for sure, but I do know that the solar eclipse is going to be conjunct Taurus. And what this means for us is that the North Node represents our path to growth. And the North Node has been in Taurus for some time. It has been here for all of 2022. And we had solar eclipses and lunar eclipses in the sign of Taurus as well. So in the past year of 2022, you might have noticed that you're changing your relationship a lot and moving towards more self-sufficiency somewhere in your life. You heightened your sense of self-worth, you became less reliant on people, and you learned to be more sufficient and enjoy life in a certain realm, depending on the house it happened in for you. Now, with the solar eclipse in Aries, conjunct this path to growth around the North Node in Taurus that is all about self-sufficiency, this solar eclipse in Aries could be a event that shakes things up, stir things up, so that we can become more self-sufficient. So this event that's going to lead to maybe moments of independence, heightened aggression, or even just healing our relationship with our anger that allows us to be more bold and brave is going to help us move forward on our path to growth, to experiencing more independence and more self-sufficiency and enjoying life more. You could also potentially experience monetary gains by being more bold and brave. This solar eclipse in Aries reminds us that sometimes we have to take what is called massive imperfect action. And acting off of an impulse or going for it, taking the leap, could lead to beautiful things. With this solar eclipse conjunct the North Node, we will be rewarded for embracing Aries energy. It might be embraced in the positive sense, it might be embraced in the negative. The thing is with Aries energy is that sometimes it reminds us that we're going to be imperfect, messy, sometimes make mistakes, and that is okay, because mistakes are what lead to our growth. Opposite of the North Node is the South Node, and the South Node represents our overused gifts and talents and what feels familiar. So when we go to embrace our North Node, it can feel really uncomfortable because we're not used to that. We're not familiar with it, and it feels like uncharted territory. So especially during this time of the solar eclipse in Aries, where we are embracing already taking massive imperfect action, we can feel like we are being asked to step into the unknown a lot and do things that we've never done before. Whether that is talking to a person you never would have or doing something you never would have thought to do, we are being called to try new things with a sense of courage, and this can be terrifying for us. But what we can do off of this is by taking that massive imperfect action and stepping into the unknown, even though it feels so uncomfortable, we will grow massively from it. We will expand our skill set and we will live in alignment with our karmic destiny. The solar eclipse in Aries is also conjunct two other planets as well. This time, not in the sign of Taurus, but in the sign of Aries as well. And those two planets are Jupiter, which is in Aries, and a dwarf planet called Eris. And Eris is the sister of the god Aries, the god of war. And what Eris represents is destruction and creation. Very similar to, as from my perception, the goddess Shiva. And what this means for us, there's a fly in my video and it's driving me crazy. What this means for us, for the solar eclipse in Aries, is that there might be some destruction coming up during this time, which sounds terrifying, I know. Even I get like a little nervous hearing about that, but it's for the better in the sense that Eris reminds us that we sometimes need destruction to start anew. Destruction leads to creation. If you know of Shavasana in yoga, this is the moment we lay down at the end of class to allow ourselves to be completely released and start over so that we can be reborn anew. And every new moon in general represents a new beginning. So this whole energy, there's a massive energy around new beginnings and endings, finalizations, not only because Aries solar eclipse is happening in the final degree of Aries, but also because Eris is here and it's a solar eclipse, which is a heightened new moon. So massive new beginnings could be coming our way, but first we might have to experience some destruction of old ways that are not serving us. So reflect during this time, as you are probably already naturally doing so, on what your relationship with independence is and what do you need to let go of to be more unlimited and be more free. Is there emotions that you're holding on that are holding you back from being independent and feeling a sense of freedom? Is there anything literally in your material reality, whether it's a relative or an old job or a house or a car, something physical that is holding you back from being unlimited? And on top of it, with Jupiter here, there's a heightened level of expansion that can come out to play. Jupiter, as the planet of expansion, also represents spiritual learning. And so with Jupiter and Aries conjunct this solar eclipse, things can expand massively. We have this supercharged effect that is affecting us even already, where we want to try new things, learn new things, expand our horizon. So follow this desire to expand your horizon and know that you're going to do so in a very imperfect way. Push yourself outside your comfort zone during this time and trust that things are going to fall away. People might fall away. Things might get messy, but it's for the better and it's going to be cleaned up by the end of the solar eclipse. And especially when we get to the lunar eclipse in Libra, things are going to make even more sense. There are a few more aspects that are playing on this solar eclipse in Aries, but the last one I want to touch on is that this solar eclipse in Aries is also conjunct Vesta, which is an asteroid that represents devotion and integrity, very similar to Venus in my view, but it represents our commitment to things even more so, in our values. So with Vesta in Taurus, conjunct this solar eclipse, we're not only invited to take massive imperfect action, and there's all this destruction and chaos going on, but Vesta brings in some more stable energy and reminds us to act in alignment with what we value. So reflect on this time while you're taking action to act in alignment with what you value the most. What old paradigms are keeping you stuck from acting in alignment with the things that matter most to you? How can you incorporate more integrity and take massive imperfect action with your values and beliefs to bring more value to your life, to bring more love into your life, to do more of what you enjoy? In conclusion, if that is a lot of data for you to take in, during the next few weeks, as we get closer to the solar eclipse happening in the sign of Aries on April 20th, just know that a lot of chaos can be unfolding. You might feel like a lot of frustrations coming up. There's a lot of conflict around you in a certain area of your life, depending on what house this solar eclipse is happening in for you. You might feel drawn to, that's it, I'm done. I want more independence. I want freedom. I want to be unlimited and I want to take action. My advice to you is take action in alignment with the things that you value the most. What do you want your life to look like? What do you dream of? What is the most fulfilling existence for you? Live in alignment with that and do something courageous, bold, and brave in alignment with that. You might get uncomfortable. It might feel like the unknown, but these uncharted seas and uncharted territory could lead to your highest growth, and you have no idea how many blessings are about to hit you right now. I know that for me, with every eclipse, I can always think I can predict what's going to happen, and it never ends up being what I expect, and it ends up bringing me so much value. So blessings are about to hit you way more than you can expect. Good is coming your way. Just act in alignment with who you are and ask yourself, who am I and who do I want to be in this world? If this video gave you insight into the solar eclipse in Aries and made you feel inspired on your journey ahead, please leave a comment below and let me know. While you're down there, grab the free birth chart workbook to understand your soul's unique energetic imprint in its basics using journal prompts. I've personally used these journal prompts to understand my chart instead of just doing what I did for so long, where I took in all the information about every single planet and asteroid and did nothing with it. Yay! The birth chart workbook is free. It takes you less than 15 minutes to do the whole thing, and you'll understand how to apply the basics of your chart by the end and live in alignment with your astrology. Link in the description below. Download it now. While you're down there, you should grab the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle if you are someone who loves courses, workbooks, astrology, mindfulness, chakras, and self-development. The Making Mindfulness Fun bundle has all 30 of our workbooks and courses that we have ever created for only $30. That's $1 per course per workbook. And guess what? I'm about to add 2 new astrology workbooks to this bundle that will help you understand how to live in alignment with the most important aspect of your chart, which is your moon sign, and it's one to help you understand each of the zodiac signs and the houses simply so that you can be an astrology master yourself. That's the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle, available for I don't know how long, so grab it now in the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the rest of the channel for more videos on your birth chart placements. Once again, my name is Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.